How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the TaiQQ Gaming channel, and say hello to our newest series on the channel, Bullet Soul Infinite Burst. Just came out earlier today, or rather, as it's a little in the morning, late yesterday, I suppose. But first, I do want to thank a couple people. I do want to thank Sarah Flash and Dayruna of Mudprint Studio. They do a weekly shmup live stream, as well as a bunch of shmup videos. They held a pretty cool preview stream for the game, and I was able to win a key through their contest. So it was very cool to offer me the opportunity to do it, and somehow through devil's luck, I was able to score one. So it kind of worked out. But yes, here's Bullet Soul Infinite Burst. It's kind of like a sort of successor, sort of a sequel, but also sort of a remake. And here we go, wow. Real quick, before we get into some of the more crazier things about describing what's going on the screen right now, is that both the bombs and the livestock have been changed. You can see on the left there, as we're using the Yoon character right now, the bombs have been removed completely and replaced with your burst bar, which is almost like a special sort of, alpha attack or crazy attack, that sort of thing, when that gauge gets all the way up. And then instead of your livestock, you have your life gauge there. So aside from that, roughly a very similar game. However, everything is kind of remixed. As you can tell, that sort of gold boss was never there in the first level. And I would say the difficulty as well has been cranked up to like 11 right now. You can see also the coins that drop also provide also points as well. And as you may know from previous Bullet Soul videos, it's all about aggression. How close you can be to the enemies and how far up on the screen you are to score the highest points. I started with Yoon first because that was the character we were able to 1cc in the earlier mode. So I thought, hey, let's try it again. However, my God, we'll watch how wild and crazy it gets. We don't get very far. I think maybe the third level. So it really goes to show the upgrades that they've done in this game when it comes to difficulty as well. So there's new enemies, different enemies placed in different areas, and all new bullet patterns as well. All right, so we're back up in burst. So we're gonna shoot him with that sort of rainbow party attack, or maybe not. No, just finish him like that. But yes. I would say, instead of thinking this as a completely like a sequel, as it would be like new characters, new levels, whatnot, I would think of this as more like a sort of remix or like a black label, that sort of thing, where it's or like when they make some game and then they make the extreme version, or the I guess maybe that's it. Just it's the Bullet Soul Extreme. But yeah, we got a couple runs in this video. First with Yoon and then Loop afterwards. And of course, in later videos, there we go. That's that sort of crazy burst mode. We're going to cover some Caravan as well. So, we won't go too far in this game without touching upon that. And of course, these sort of bronze coins do cost more than the sort of pewter ones, I suppose. I wouldn't suggest that they were silver if bronze are more valuable, but who knows? And for people who have watched previous Bullet Soul videos, remember this guy being quite the pushover. I mean, he's still rather a pushover, but check out some of these amazing new patterns he has. Or maybe he won't. Oh, there we go. Something like that giant orange diamond. Yeah. Very cool stuff. And I would imagine the whole crux of the operation here is now you know there's no auto bomb, that sort of thing. There's no there's no sort of defense mode. You know, it has to be all offense. You know, yeah, the defending bomb, the burst mode is now, you know, or auto bomb has been replaced with the burst. So yeah, it's a little yeah, it's quite crazy. Yeah, and it's yeah, a bit less forgiving than previous incarnations. I haven't quite figured out when it comes to the life bar, what dictates how much damage you take. You know, maybe boss damage gives you takes away more of your life bar than smaller enemies, or maybe it's running into enemies that cause more damage. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to do some more research and look into it more as we play along. Yeah, look at new pattern here. Takes us down a bit of a chunk of health. Yeah, it's all new there. You got a burst. And just this sort of rainbow of death. And of course, new music as well. So it's certainly not just a sort of rehash. You know, it is using a lot of the same assets, but it is kind of, you know, what if you could make the game again, and what would you change, that sort of thing. There we go. Second level boss is in the grave, and as you can see, we're getting achievements here. I think I just practiced playing the first level real quick, and then just to kind of get my bearings, know where what the controls are, and yeah. So other than that, it's all blind. So, as I'm using the controller, the keyboard, as always when playing these type of games, I'm using the arrow keys to move. The Z and X buttons alternate from, a sort of spread fire like this to a concentrated. And then C is your burst button, which we have. But I think we're saving it for the big purple bastard that came there. Well, as you can see, they actually have given you 5 or 6 of them right there. Yeah. They just keep coming and coming. I'm coming in the gym. I'm coming at home. I'm coming everywhere. I initially kind of wanted to save it for the that sort of bullet sponge centipede-like guy, but he actually is a lot easier to kill this game. So I feel, I think 1cc in this game is going to be mighty difficult. We could rely on auto bombs in the previous version to really, get every, get as much worth out of each life as we could. And now that we don't have any bombs in this mode, or in this game rather, and we only have like 4 hits instead of maybe like the 14. It's a little bit different, but certainly at least now in the burst mode we can blow up that sack that was nigh impossible in the first incarnation. But we are dangerously low on health. yeah, quite an impressive pattern there. That sort of pink shotgun blast that I didn't ever think would or I didn't see coming rather. So there it is. There's our very first maybe our second Ewan run killed at the sort of lizard mini boss. But that's bound to happen when you see things for the first time. But yeah, but other than that, while we have a little downtime here, going through some channel news. That stupid bastard Jim from Gamebound, through some sort of mental defect, I'm guessing, sent me a brand new controller, which he had no business in doing. I don't know what is going on wrong with him. He had contacted me about replacing my controller, and I was like, if you really wanted to send me something, that's fine. And I kind of figured he had some sort of USB controller that was like sitting in the trash. He actually just ordered a whole new like DualShock PS4 controller new off Amazon like a madman. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude! Talk about blowing every penny you've made off YouTube on my controller. That was very generous, very appreciated, but very, very unnecessary. But maybe he just likes making it rain sometimes, I guess. I don't know. There's aside from Isaac, there aren't too many games I play with the keyboard anyway. I mean, granted, Mega Man stuff, Mega Man platformers, but if it's ships and shooting, it's usually just keyboard, And speaking of which, here we are with the Luke character, and she is a starting character in this game, as opposed to the sort of unlockable version that was in the last, and she is by leaps and bounds the most overpowered one. It really makes no difference, I think, if you're using this sort of concentrated laser or the other one. She just makes everything die real quick. But even that is not enough to keep us alive in this game. I think we get a little bit further with Luke, but still nothing really to brag about, to be honest. But release day pains, I suppose. I do apologize if the video is a little late. I'm usually a little bit more snappy on it, especially now that I actually had the game a couple days early to its release through the giveaway. But Anklegate 2017 is still a thing. Still takes way too much energy out of me, and I really do hope I can bounce back from that rather quickly and just get over this whole annoying event just like ASAP, to be completely honest. Alright, level 1 boss again. And we have the burst mode, so hopefully we get to see what that looks like with, there we are. Absolute destruction, huh? There has been some criticism of Bullet Soul, especially with Loop in particular, that some of her voice effects are a little annoying, and they're not great to be completely honest, but I don't think they really deter you too much. It is it's that sort of arcade game that does sort of kind of bang the same drum, that sort of thing. And what I mean, there's one voice line for a pickup, there's one voice line when she's get hit, that sort of thing. So when you do pick up, a bunch of pickups, you guys kind of say the same thing, a few times in a row. But the coins are an interesting addition as well, because they they do create the challenge of you having to migrate back and forth on the screen, up and down the screen, to try to collect as much as you can. And as the coins do bounce off the bottom of the screen and then go back up, so you certainly can lose them. So you do want to make sure you do your best to at least pick up those points. I'm not exactly sure how extends work, where you don't necessarily have a life stock, so it might just be point sake that you're collecting all this. You might get a free sort of chunk of health at a certain point. I wouldn't be surprised, but again, I'm not too sure. We haven't really crossed that threshold quite yet. But yes, the exclusion of bombs, I think, is the big takeaway from this game. And not that it's like, it's certainly not a game breaker, but it does make things a lot more challenging. The whole, auto bomb, that was exactly what I relied on to beat the game. Not beat the game, but 1cc the game in my drunken stupor there. But yeah, now we'll just have to get good, I suppose. We have some experience with the game, just not this version. Second level boss again. And she does a good job of taking that pink laser and just raking it over multiple parts of this boss. And as you can see, as you're in burst mode, as you collect coins, it continues the burst mode. I would say burst mode is not much different than a lot of like super modes that you'd see in like Crimson Clover, Don Mako Unlimited, that sort of thing, or even Gray's Counter. But they're just different mechanics that bring them about. Got hit for the first time there, and there we go, second level boss in the can. Certainly a ton more bonus points to be had, and a time bonus. So it is certainly in your best interest to rely on that burst. Use it as frequent as you can, and as advantageously as you can to get yourself through the level as fast as humanly possible. Alright, those jerks are back again. The purple bastards of our the banes of our existence in the first game. And there we are, we're getting hit again. Down to maybe 40% of our health. But you know what, there was a point in time that they gave us a lot of trouble, but it has been quite some time since that's happened. So I don't know, maybe we can get over that, the old purple bastards. Yeah, we're getting to a point where there's so much coins it's getting very hard to pick them all up, and a lot of them are escaping up through the top. There's that big sort of alien egg that we're just using that burst on again to crack open. If for no other reason, for the giant sort of bonus points to get that off the screen, to actually like fire through it as well. Alright, so here we are again with that sort of alien lizard-like boss from our past run, our previous run. It's still a tricky pattern, down to our last bit of health. Alright, able to conquer him this time, but not a whole lot of life afterwards. However, those sort of R pickups are, life recovery pickups, so got a little bit of life left, or recovered there. Surprisingly, after 5 of those icons, only seem to just recover one chunk of life. And there we are, we just lost it with one of the enemies that came out of the side there. So we are looking at death right in the face, and there it is. Maybe we should continue, or at least have one of these videos be one of, credit feeding, just to go through the game and check everything out, but not feeling it that time. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff, and we'll certainly come back and play more of this in the future.